What's up, everyone? This is Nick with TradeSpace, and today I'm starting something new. I'm going to start doing some analysis on a popular stock. I'm going to pick a random one every now and again, every week, every 2 weeks, something like that, and I'm going to give a very neutral analysis on it. This is not going to be a buy or sell recommendation. This is simply going to be a price action analysis for you to watch, observe, and then make your own decisions. Maybe you want to buy, maybe you want to sell, maybe you don't want to be in this trade at all. Maybe you're just curious what the hype is about. These videos are going to be for you. We're going to mainly focus on stocks, but we will probably do ETFs and maybe a little bit of futures throughout time. So with nothing more to say, we're going to jump right into it. So the stock we're talking about today is PLTR. And sometimes I will mention news catalysts and sometimes I will not. News catalysts or not, I'm going to kind of let y'all figure that out. I am trying to give a firm, detailed price action analysis for your opinion. So starting with PLTR, we're looking at the weekly chart, and if we zoom way out, see that PLTR hasn't been a stock for a very long time. In fact, you can also see that I've been trading PLTR for quite a long time here, as I'm sure many of you have. Now, somewhere in, May? Somewhere in May, we began to develop into a channel. And since that channel happened, we've had a huge spike up and we've had a huge breakout. Now, normally when you have a breakout like this happening, normally when we push above the top of the channel line, this right here greatly increases the odds that we're going to then go and test the very bottom channel line. However, there's something that happened on the daily chart, which I will show you, which prevented that test from happening. Something else to note here is that it's been a really long time since we touched the moving average. In fact, we haven't touched it on the weekly chart since August 9th. So let's just say that you were a bull and you wanted to buy at least at the average price, if nothing else, the average or a little bit below. Not saying this is an effective strategy, but if it's what you wanted to do, you would have bought on 8-9. And you would not have sold yet because we have not tested the moving average again. So August, most of August, September, October, November, and now December, and we will not touch the moving average. Very low probability that we'll touch the moving average here in what is pretty much the last week of December. Now, if we look at this on the daily chart, I am trading this. This is the live feed from 12/23/24, about an hour into the market. So this is PLTR now. This is just some 5-minute bars. Ultimately, this is what I want to look at right here. This big bull bar creates a nice bull signal bar for the bulls. There's an issue to it, however. First is that we haven't touched the moving average in a long time. The second is that we're currently far away from the moving average. Whenever we have a nice buy signal set up, but we're far away from the moving average, or we haven't touched it in a long time, or a context like this where we've broken a channel and then we're continuing higher, when you kind of put all those together, it makes bulls hesitant to buy because they think that they're buying too high. And ultimately, they really are. They are buying very high. When bulls think this, they're going to be a lot more hesitant to buy. However, if you're a bear, you also see this, and you think that selling anything above this level is probably a good sell. And that is going to increase the odds of making this bull bar climactic, which is what we're starting to see right now in the moment. Not saying this is going to be climactic, but this is what we're seeing in the moment. Small push above, perfect to fill orders for bears, and now we're beginning on a bearish day. Now, bears who traded this are counter trend traders, and they're not hoping for a big swing. They're really just trying to get to the bottom of the range on this weekly chart. And that's really about all that they can hope for in the moment. Bulls are hopeful that the signal bar will lead to sustained buying, meaning that even if we have a bit of a sell-off at the beginning, hopefully for the bulls, you're hopeful that there will be a reversal sometime in the day that will lead to more sustained buying. We'll have to look at some smaller time frames, but in the moment, it's definitely less likely that we're going to push above, fill these bear orders, and then continue down, and then reverse back up. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Now we've got an overview of the weekly chart. Let's look at the daily chart. I'll zoom out some so you can see. We have a lot of the same things going on. We have our channel here and a good push above. And we didn't test the bottom here. Why didn't we test the bottom? We have a breakout and a wedge, 1, 2, 3, double top. We did actually reach the first profit target of the wedge, but we have an earnings gap. This earnings gap is probably the reason why the price did not retest the bottom of the channel line here. Instead, we found sustained buying and had some more gaps up. These gaps in here will eventually be profit target for bears, but in the moment we have pretty sustained bull buying. And if we look at the bear bars, 2 bear bars didn't go very far, 1 bear bar didn't go anywhere, 2 bear bars didn't go very far, 1, 1, 1, 1. We don't have a lot of bear action. We do, however, have more bearish action as we get further up. Notice there's a difference between these bars, these bear bars in here, and this bear bar right here. One is stronger and more powerful than the others, and that's this one. That's also where we found resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 10 days later, we're finding out, I guess 10 days really, we're finding out that there are indeed sellers above this climactic bear bar hoping to either get out break even, or depending on where they sold, or get to the a test of the moving average and the bottom of the range. If we look at this again, we also see that it also hasn't touched the moving average for a long time, although not quite as long as on the weekly chart. 11.4 was the last time it touched the moving average. This is still, so we've gone almost 2 months, not quite. 6 weeks, 7 weeks without touching the moving average. This also is going to make bulls hesitant to buy on the daily chart. We do have, historically speaking, support along this moving average. Another earnings gap down and then gap back up, which led to another trend. First started to show support around June of this year, and has shown relative strength around the moving average ever since then. Now, if we look at this trend, there's still a lot more bull bars than there are bear bars, and most bear bars are pretty insignificant. In fact, really, these bear bars are nothing more but buying opportunities for other bulls. This tells us that bulls are still in control, but we're beginning to see more bears come in, being this large bear bar here. Overall, if you're a bear, you're hopeful that we can get down to this moving average and bottom of the range, but if you're a bull, you're hoping that this right here, this bull bar, will be a good buy signal bar for other bulls. However, even if it's not and you're a bull, you're likely still willing to scale in. This means that even if you're a bull who bought the very, very top here, let's just say you bought 8202 on a full size position, or maybe not on a full size position, but if you bought 8202 and we have a sell off down to the moving average or the bottom of the range here, then you're likely going to be able to buy more and still turn your trade into a winner. So overall, probabilities are probably a little bit more in the bull's favor because of context and what's happened in the past. However, bears are beginning to come in and sell more at certain areas. And even though the downside is relatively limited or likely limited, it does not mean that we won't have a range first before any continued buying. So that's pretty much my analysis, guys. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, you can post them down below. And if you're interested in hearing more of my analysis and joining an amazing community of traders, then you can come and participate in my free Discord, which I'll link down below. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see you there.